The world's not so far from my home, 'cause time and space could carry my love. Eternity surprisingly small, but shit, I got my hands in it all. Simple things yield the biggest results. I know to over, can promise you to cover, but I can promise you grace. We could fly. I imagine save the world for another day, but I intend to perfect what I have in front of me. I wrap the world in a love that I give you within. I hope that it stays like a place a million years away. Save the world for another day. Breaking news, channel 6 interviews, darkest of you. On the road, encounter nothing but love. So get up and then I pass it along. It goes along the line.
Experience at my leisure. By design, no perfect life exists, no mythical creatures. For the people, they left me alone when I sold myself. When I control the things
We save the world for another day, but I intend to perfect what I have in front of me. I've wrapped the world in a love that I give you within. I hope that it stays, finds a place a million years away. Save the world for another day. Butterfly flaps, just a little bit of loving. Moves through space, much more liquid than the money. Watch it fall, so wonderful. But all she had left was a little bit of honey. Topped up my glass, sent me on my way, buzzing. I so small, so wonderful. Save the world for another day, but I intend to perfect what I have in front of me. I've wrapped the world in a love that I give you within. I hope that it stays, finds a place a million years away. Save the world for another day. Pull my boat all the way, my kingdom's coming. So far south where the weather's on Sunday. Type of freedom only got it came with money. I was wrong.
Yeah. All right. Welcome to the Phresh Taste Podcast. This is episode number 1. We got something like Seduction here.
Hell yeah.
They just opened up with, what'd you guys open up with?
That was a little tune called 1,000 Butterflies.
Nice.
Preceded by 5-hit funk.
5-hit funk jam.
5-hit funk.
Funk jam, yes.
That should hit.
At least 5 times.
5 times or it's chalk it up to a loss,
I made it
you know?
to the microphone.
Oh,
He's here.
This is quite nice.
let me get comfortable.
Sounds good. All right, well, it's Cinco de Mayo. The viewers will probably not be on Cinco de Mayo when they see this, but cheers, bros.
Cheers.
Cheers.
We did it, dude.
Cheers.
Amongst all odds, as always, we did it.
Do you guys like
Prost.
take it upon yourself to hit contact with every glass, or is it the thought that counts?
I
What do you
think
guys
it's
do?
It's your existence, your obligation as a human that you exist to do that. You know, you've got to cheers everybody in the room.
Yeah.
Like physical contact,
I
not
refuse.
just emotions.
I refuse to take another drink until I have touched everyone else's cup, can,
Can you
or
guys handle
bottle.
a shot of tequila?
Oh, I think
probably could.
I think I definitely could, man. Would
Yes.
it be
Let's
Cinco
start
de
this
Mayo
off with
without it?
a nice Cinco de Mayo toast.
Wow.
In the meantime, we got to shout out our producer, Bob Rabbit,
Shout out Bob
making
Rabbit.
this shit happen.
Shout out Birds.
Oh.
HBC for life.
All right, well, look, I'll start pouring this up, but Let's just talk about the beginnings for a little bit. If each of you want to just tell us your name. We'll start with Esteban. Just tell us maybe where you're from and.
Yeah, my name is Esteban. I play drums in something like Seduction. I'm also the current manager, the current booking agent, and the dude behind the scenes. The origin story, I started playing soccer with Connor. We were probably 10, I think. And then
Yeah.
I got inspired by Freaky Friday to want to be in a band.
Great flick.
Great flick. I don't know if it was Freaky Friday or when there was this other band called Ann Arbor, and they were 8th graders when I was a 3rd or 4th grader, and they were like, oh, they're super fucking cool. And then we started playing in a band called, I think initially Silver Marshall, if I'm not mistaken. We needed a name. We needed a name for the school dance. We were like, dude, Silver Marshall. That sounds like a good name.
Wait, you guys were in high school together?
Yeah, that was middle school, though. That was 7th grade.
Oh,
yeah,
damn.
we were playing a school dance. That was good
Way
times.
back.
And then we retired early. I think it was like an 8th grade retirement. And then we reunited the band in high school, junior year, for Friday Night Lights. I think I'll tell my mom the story.
Senior
last
year,
night.
maybe. I don't know.
Where'd you guys go to high school?
Where did we go to high school, Connor?
Brophy College Preparatory. Go Broncos. Am I right, boys?
It's a great day to be a Bronco.
Yeah.
It's a great day.
All right.
So, yeah, fucking then got the band back together. It was kind of a loosely serious, kind of mildly serious thing, and then we went to school, and I was just like, you know what? Being in a band in college could be cool. We could get a bunch of chicks. We didn't get a bunch of chicks. Had a show booked for October, about a month and a half into the semester of freshman year, 2011, and we had no bassist because Nikar, he moved on to Denver regions, and then we met this guy, Tyler, to my left, the viewers immediate in front of them, probably they're watching on YouTube.
Hey, baby.
But you want to jump in there? Take
Yeah,
over?
so I went to University of Arizona, 2011. I was just hanging out with my buds one night, getting a little turned up illegally. And I came back to their dorm room, which happened to be in the same hall as Esteban and Connor. And I hopped in, and they were jamming some songs, and I hopped in, started jamming some Sublime covers. And they got my number after I left. I didn't really remember the interaction. And they hit me up the next day. I was like, hey, man, you happen to play bass, do you? I'm like, yeah, I play bass. They're like, hey, we got a show in 2 weeks. You down to jam some bass for it? I'm like, dude,
Damn.
it's like a dream come true. And the rest is history from there.
Unbelievable.
Let it be known that SLS practiced in the dorms 100% of our freshman year. So every single one of our shows, we didn't know how it sounded until we went to the show. We're like, oh, that's how it sounds. It was good times.
Where did the name come from?
Connor, you want to tell the story?
From the ether, it was just a brainstorming session. And we were just thinking of names, like there was no like, we want it to like mean this or do that. It was just like, let's think of like 1 to 4 words. And then we kind of settled on being like, okay, let's make it so it's something like that's part of the name. So what is it something like? And then one of the founding members, Joe Hallway, God bless him. He's still alive and well. That felt kind of eulogistic.
I said that
Yeah,
about
that's
Nikar
just
the
like-
other day. I was like, Nikar, yeah, we lost Nikar. I was like, wait, no, he's still alive, dude. I make that clear.
Nah, and they're better than ever. But
Yeah.
I can still like see his face when he said seduction. We're like, oh, boom. There was no debate. It was unanimous. 9 Supreme Court.
And
Only
actually,
3.
a funny anecdote is we actually just played at his pizza party the other night.
That was
That's
Joe's
right.
pizza party. Yeah.
We just
Joe.
played at Joe's Pizza Night. So
We started off as actually 4 acoustic guitars and 1 djembe. I had given up on my drumming career at the time. I was like, you know what? I'm destined to be a guitarist. So I was a guitarist in the band. Nikar was on
Yeah.
djembe, and then we were like, you know what, dude? This isn't working out. I reassumed the drum position. Nikar learned the bass. And then we played a Friday Night Lights gig. Or we played some kind of gig in the gym where he saw a video of it on YouTube, and it was Connor forgetting every fucking word to Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Can't stop.
Can't stop.
Can't stop.
yeah, that
hilarious.
song is about abstract subject matter. It's hard to remember lyrics that aren't like a story. It's just like talk about sticks in the wilderness,
You
and then
can't-
let's bring it back to I don't know. I wish I would have thought of better things to say just now. But
So were you guys basically mainly doing covers in the beginning before you got to writing songs, or how was that process?
When we were playing in high school, we were. But then when we were with him, it was pretty much 100% original.
Pretty much
music.
when I joined the band, they already had like 5 or 6 tunes. Then maybe
Alright.
we threw like maybe one cover in.
What tunes did we have when we were playing?
We had Good Thing. We had Ganja
Good
Tree.
thing, that's a
Nice.
classic.
I think we had all those off of our
Audrey
that fr-
Hepburn,
from
right?
the,
Did
yeah,
we-
fr-
did we write
Audrey
that?
Hepburn Complex. Yeah.
I think we wrote that with you though.
Yeah, maybe.
Can't remember.
Yeah.
A lot of songs.
It was back then. They were named Connor Song 1, Nick Song 1, Nick Song 2. We didn't
Yeah.
have any names for any of these songs.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
Good times.
It's like
All
let's,
right.
let's play Connor 1.
Connor 1 sucks. I want to play Connor 2.
We have this 1800 silver.
Wow.
Shout out.
Sponsor us.
Shout out George Clooney.
Want to come join this shot over here?
All right, I better make sure I touch everybody's glass on this one. Because I don't want to be made to seem like
All right, toast to episode 1.
episode 1.
So 1.
Yes.
I think I got everyone.
Kind of touch tips with
That's
everybody.
affirmative. Or should we say episode? Ooh, no.
E.
I just thought of George Clooney the whole time I took that shot. Thank you, George.
Maybe they'll loosen us up a little bit after a tense start.
Very
For one of us.
Whoa, Connor, fill us in what happened, man. Let's get an inside scoop from
Oh,
Connor's view.
well.
Yeah, how'd the day start off for you?
So I woke up at 4:51.
That's never a good start to a good story, you know?
Yeah, after like a couple hours of sleep. Had a couple wines the night before. I'm going too far back. I think I should just stay on.
Might as well hit the wings. We
Basically,
had earlier.
yeah. Basically, that's when I got some wings last night. I work as a stagehand, okay? And so the company is hired by many different people for different events. This one happened to be the ASU graduation. Very excited about it.
Wow.
So I was working that today, kind of setting up the audio, and I was under the impression it was a 6-hour gig starting at 6 a.m., get off at 12. But you know how this industry is, guy. Am I right, boys?
Yeah, the industry is cold.
And so I just like had the worst day of my life out there because these guys met in here at noon 30. I don't know what time it is right now. It's like 7 hours later.
Yeah, they were here too.
But
Everyone
yeah,
was
these
here.
guys.
Everyone
I mean
was
these
here.
guys. All these guys.
Who even these guys?
What was the gig?
It was a ASU graduation.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna be a great
Sounds like some
attendance.
madness.
Yeah, I don't even think they're gonna think about me once while they're doing it. Like, look at this audio setup. I wonder who put this together. They never think about that. But I'd like to think maybe one person.
He's in the crowd like, Connor Shea was probably here.
It's like whoever set this up did a really,
You know, I really
nice
appreciate
job.
them.
Yeah.
Even though like I get paid, I'm not doing it for them. I could give a fuck about them. You know,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I love them. I don't know.
All right, so we talked to you about your guys' beginnings, and y'all are 5 songs deep in the dorms. Where maybe one of your first aha moments, or when did you guys play a song and you're like, damn, that might be kind of good?
Oh yeah, Tyler knows this one by heart.
Yeah, actually, we were just talking about this a little bit earlier. I think it was it freshman year or sophomore year?
I want to say, I think we wrote it freshman year, right?
Okay, so yeah, it was sometime freshman year, sometime early 2012. We were up in Phoenix actually for the summer. We had just finished our freshman year of college, and we were practicing at Esteban's uncle's work office on a Sunday afternoon. He just let us go in there and bring all of our stuff and jam out as loud as we wanted, and we ended up writing the song, which now is named "Inhale the Fumes." And at the time when we were writing it, we were all just like, "Wow, man, this is the greatest thing since the Great Depression and sliced bread and any crazy metaphor you could think of. This is the greatest thing since then." I just remember snap my fingers. I just couldn't stop snapping. I was sore for like 3 or 4 weeks. But
You know, the Great Depression was great if there's like, it was great.
Yeah.
You know, it was a real depression.
That's hilarious. Is that the first time you ever said that?
that story.
No, compared something at being great to the Great Depression. Like that's the greatest thing since the Great Depression. That's the funniest
I
thing
have
I've ever
actually.
heard
I
in my
have.
life.
Check-
Okay,
Look back on my Instagram history.
Good times.
that's
Sounds
rich.
pretty great.
I remember Matt was actually he hit us back with mixes and he was like, whatever you guys got going on here, that was a nice little he actually said something's gonna come from that. That's gonna be your guys' first little just
Like break, not even break,
jump,
but
whatever
yeah,
it is, you
just
know.
a step. Next
and it
step.
was, you know, that was people were kind of just looked and were like, oh, okay, that sounds pretty good.
Some of the first fruit.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I feel like I've had that
Harvesting.
feeling for almost every single thing I've ever written, and the only other feeling I've had as much as that is like shortly thereafter thinking like, this isn't gonna work out, you know, because it's always like, I mean, that's like the great part about it because it's like you get that juicy like positive emotion towards it when you write it, and then later on it's like you know, you want to keep writing better stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So,
That's what fuels the fire.
so I don't know, man.
One is one's harshest critic.
Certainly.
So y'all down to play it?
Yeah, play it.
I'm down to play it.
Let's hear it.
Let's hear it.
I think we should.
Blast from the past.
Oh, we're talking about inhaled fumes?
Yeah.
We're taking this shit back to 2012, ladies and gentlemen.
Get your, I don't know, what was popular back then?
Spider-Man was big back
Fanny packs. Fanny packs
Spider-Man
are
was big?
Yeah, dude.
Get your Spider-Man pajamas on for this one.
Spider-Man's been big since '83.
Okay. If you just bear with me, everyone, I need to reconfigure myself. I can't start unless I'm comfortable. Don't worry, I'm a professional.
Don't worry, I'm professional. All right, here we go.
We're going to have to chop some of that. That was like,
No way, that's smooth.
I didn't look anything like James Bond. Put the light, don't split tonight in air diffuse. What you do, what you do. Be surprised, I close your eyes, you know I'm on this side for you and I do. Put the light, don't split tonight in air diffuse. What you do, what you do. Be surprised, I close your eyes, you know I'm on this side for you and I do. Sex and alcohol, I like the fire burning so I could take you wherever I could see the world. I am not the type to play with love. Put that light to split tonight in air diffuse. What you do, what you do. Please surprise, I close your eyes, you know I've owned this up for you. Body show, a one-way ticket is what you possess. One of those is to make sure when the sun in the check out in you. Oh, I your views. I'm happy the only one to notice this. Body show, a one-way ticket is what you possess. One of those is to make sure when the sun in the check out in you. Now
safe from precipitation. Rolling in like I make way, but she keeps me warm with the fire that she's burning. My door, my elation. Fire that she's burning, fire that she's burning, fire that she's burning.
Wow.
Yep. That was a flashback. Would you say 2012?
2012.
2012.
2012.
Spider-Man.
Great Depression and sliced bread. It's right up there.
Don't forget about Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
2012 was, I think, a good year, if I remember correctly. I had a good time
Yeah.
that year. Even though I'm fucking horrible at remembering years to memories. Like, some people are like, yeah, that was 2001. I'm like, what the fuck? How do you know that, dude? Lying.
A lot of people back then related to like, oh, that was the same year as 9/11.
Yeah.
Wow.
2012. That was the same year as 9/11.
Definitely.
All right.
Good times.
Oh yeah. I might not make the
All
cut.
right.
I might not make the cut.
I don't know if it's gonna make the cut.
I like the freeform. Everything makes the cut.
The next segment I like to call bread and butter.
Wow.
I don't know if you guys want some bread and butter, but I brought some bread and butter.
Is it sourdough?
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Wow.
Please, bro. I would love
Sourdough.
some.
You know, the souring actually helps with the gluten, so
Really?
Really?
reduces the
Really?
gluten content
So it's the best bread, you're saying?
pretty much.
Nice. I like the sound of that, dude. I like
So,
bread. I like sourdough bread.
Have you ever tried that like
Wow, that's
nut
amazing.
nut bread? What's it? Ezekiel bread?
Yeah, Ezekiel's fire too.
I've never
Wow.
I've never tried that, but I've meant to.
Wow.
Passing this bread around?
Yeah.
Hit it and pass it.
I brought some butter.
Wow.
This is grass-fed butter, so
Oh shit.
Do you do?
if you guys care, grass-fed butter has a higher omega-3 content. It's just a little healthier.
Hey, it's
Yeah,
good
you
for
can
your
tell
liver.
that butter lived a good life.
So, yeah, it's on the.
I can feel the life inside this butter.
I think. Do you do butter and honey? Excuse me, sorry.
I'm probably gonna do butter and honey, but you know that's just me. I'm a crazy son of a bitch.
I think a little bit of water got in this honey, so I might have to do a little experimenting here, get the water out.
Wow, bread and butter,
Oh,
just a
done.
timeless meal. Timeless meal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it's the best meal.
They ate it before Christ, after Christ, during the Great Depression, post
That was,
9/11.
I mean, it still tastes like butter or honey.
All right, you're up, dude. Butter your bread, Connor.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do
But
straight
basically-
butter. I'm not.
The whole point of this is where's the money come from?
Nice.
Your bread and butter, you know?
It's the cheddar.
So as a band, maybe talk about solo first, but maybe we don't know the story yet. So maybe y'all are just making stacks as something like Seduction. You don't got to worry about shit. Or maybe you're on your way to
Whoa.
there.
That would be sick. Now the reality is, we're still all working part-time jobs and to pay the bills, but we are touring musicians. We play music full time. Technically, we play full time, but we don't do it for a full-time job. I would say the biggest paychecks come from when we come home from tour or when we get private shows, which we typically charge between about $500 to $1,500 a gig, depending on what the gig is. Those are relatively unpredictable as far as when they come. It's kind of just like, hey, we have a gig next month. Do you want to play? And we're like, our schedule's fucking playing. So we're like, yeah, let's do it.
Nice.
But currently we don't have, the band doesn't pay the members of the business, but the band funds itself. So the band is able to cover like our $1,000 worth of overhead a month in terms of like van payments, insurance payments, studio payments, any kind of miscellaneous gear payments, vocal lessons, guitar lesson or guitar equipment, it's a pretty self-sustaining thing. So we're not having to pay to be members of the business, which is
Yeah.
nice. He's the finance guy. He can elaborate.
I like to compare it kind of like to those houses that are built underneath the ground and they're completely fully sustainable. Like you're not getting paid to have that house, but that house could fully sustain itself. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Obviously, I think, as far as finances go, we've been coming back with more and more profits each tour. So
That's a good comparison.
that's a good sign. And
It's a great fucking metaphor, dude. Oh my God.
I thought the
This guy's
door
on
was
fire.
wide open for another Great Depression one. I thought that was like an East Slam dunk right there.
No, yeah, but it's tough, if to make money as a band because it's like, unless you have a shitload of streams, there's I heard one of our friends, relatives, he has a million monthly listeners, which I heard. I was talking to Joey yesterday, our friend Joey. He said, "Oh, a million streams, that's not $10,000." Because I said that somebody who had a million monthly listeners on Spotify was making $10,000 a month.
Yeah.
But if you have a million streams, that only equates to $2,000. A million streams does not mean you have a million monthly listeners. That's a different metric when it comes to Spotify. But if you have that, the point is that if you have that, you can make a shitload of money. If you just have a lot of streamers, or another way to make money as a band now is if you have a shitload of fans all over the country that are willing to pay hard money for tickets to come see you play. But selling albums and shit, as everybody knows, isn't a thing anymore.
you mind passing me that honey?
Honey,
Oh,
honey.
is there any kids that don't know about albums?
Yeah.
So talking about
oh, man.
having fans all over the country, where do you guys have any home away from homes? Some cities that you're received very well in?
We're all chewing here, but sounds like I'll take this one. Yeah, man, it's slowly building. Initially, the first city that really received us well was Oklahoma City, believe it or not.
Nice.
They just fucking ate it up.
Shout
group
out
of friends.
OKC.
Big time, dude. Salt Lake City is really receiving it.
Mm-hmm.
L.A., San Diego. These are Humboldt loved it. I mean, now that we've been starting to go back to these places actually had a memory pop up on Facebook. We went on tour with Robbie like 3 years ago, exactly 3 days ago.
Yeah.
So it's like we've been returning to these places for 3 years now, and finally people are like, okay, these guys weren't just some schmucks rolling through town. Like, let's go check them out,
Nice.
So it's slowly starting to take hold. It's not like planting a seed, though. It's like planting I'm alley-ooping a metaphor here.
It's like planting a beanstalk for Jack to climb.
Yeah.
Well, didn't that happen overnight though? Didn't the beanstalk grow overnight?
All right, so we're talking about tour. Have you guys learned a couple things since your first tour compared to your latest tour?
I have, for sure. That I just need to take some time always for myself. Like for the first couple tours, you're living it up, you're taking it in. But then, after 30 days, if you don't take some time, for yourself, your mental stability declines a little bit. So I like to just take a little bit of time every single day and just not think about the band, not think about anything, and just completely have some me time. So that's something I've learned that's helped me.
What does Tyler's me time look like?
A lot of jerking off.
A lot of jerking off, some some scrolling through my phone, some listening to podcasts, stuff like that. Pretty much.
Pretty much jerking off.
Mostly
talking about
jerking off,
porn.
petting
pornography.
dogs.
Yeah, I feel like it's been hitting me more and more with every tour that like in a 3-piece band, like you're 1 out of 3 people in the whole band, so you're like extremely vital, and like the band basically goes with you. So if you're like acting like a little pussy, everyone's gonna be acting like a little pussy, So it's like obviously there's days where you're not like you don't have your hottest stuff, but you kind of have to put it on for the group and for yourself, because I mean, like everyone really counts on you when you're 33% of the whole, And there's no one else. Like it's Luna, but dude, come on.
She does not pull her weight, man.
She doesn't talk. I mean, she has very tangible.
She does a specific job and she does it well.
Yeah, she does a lot of not improvements, contributions. I couldn't find that
chill
word.
vibes.
Emotional vibes manager.
But yeah, it takes a lot of discipline.
For those out of the loop, who's Luna? Who's the fine Luna?
Luna's a fucking just this girl that started following us around, dude.
She's 6 years
Won't leave us
old.
alone. Luna's the sweetest little black lab healer in the world. We adopted her in Tucson. We were juniors.
That was another
And-
2012, right? I think.
That was 2000
maybe
13. That was a 13.
Yeah,
I think.
that was almost a fire year right there.
That was
Yeah,
almost a
dude.
fire year.
Spider-Man was way stupid by then.
Yeah, she's a great dog. We had her, and then we didn't know what we were gonna do with her. We were planning on going on tour after college, and then we were just like, all right, let's bring her and see what happens. And then I remember we brought her out for the first time in Bolinas, California, and she just sat. Remember, you were there too. She just sat on the stage, and was just like curled up, and we were like, okay, this could work. And the next day we let her out, and she kind of just came over to this stage and just sat there. And then the next day we were like, oh my, okay.
And since then, she's gotten progressively worse, man.
Yeah.
Now she thinks she's like famous, so she thinks like her shit doesn't stink, literally.
Yeah.
So she thinks she can do whatever she wants. So we've been having to keep her in check a little bit more,
So we've been just having to kind of smack her around a little bit more now.
metaphorically.
Nah, yeah, I'm just kidding. I just kind of like the idea of her doing like little mischievous things. Nothing serious, but kind of like people who are around just like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to beat the shit out of her later, you know? But just being totally kidding, America. Okay.
Back on the bread and butter subject, I was actually reading an article about a lot of famous musicians who still had like day jobs. And what's his name? Freddie Mercury was working at like the record and clothing store up to, I think, like their third album or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I heard about this, a more modern guy, this band Spafford. If anyone knows Spafford, they're like 32, 33 years old, you know?
Oh, do I have a story about them?
Oh, yeah, that's a good story. But that dude, I mean, you know, just if anyone knows it as an inside, like, you know, inside look, that dude just quit his job. And those guys have been, like, touring for a long time, technically made it. You know, it's tough to make money. All of us are trying to make it as musicians can definitely, or in any kind of creative endeavor. So it's like, where do you do it? You know, because I've tried the video, hustling the photos. And then you're just like, this isn't fun, man. I'm just making videos and shit for nobody. And the videos I don't care about. And someone's like, I don't like your transitions. And I'm like, you're paying me $100, you know? So it's like, I'm not going to do that route. and then it's tough, man. It's a tough road out here. It's for sure tough. It's not easy, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely. It's definitely not easy.
So Connor told us a little bit about his job.
Mm-hmm.
Have any other good stories about setting up the gigs?
I don't know. I did not see that question coming. I'll tell you what.
I actually I used to work at the same job
Alright.
that Connor worked at, and I had the opportunity to meet Mr. James Taylor in person.
Oh, really?
So that was really cool.
Nice.
It wasn't like, oh, hi, I'm Tyler, nice to meet you. It was like, hey, James. Oh, hey, how you doing? You know, it was a real quick, but it was still really cool, man. That guy's a legend. And he's very tall, deceivingly tall. Dude's like 6'6". He's like 80 years old. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, I had one cool
Watch out,
experience
Will
there, man.
Chamberlain.
We got to watch those Imagine Dragons rehearsals. Our first day
Yeah,
at
that's
Rhino, they
pretty
were like,
tight.
hey, can you guys work these rehearsals? We were like, sure, yeah. We just got to sit side stage at Talking Stick Arena, watch Imagine Dragons rehearse for like 13 hours. And
Damn.
then the gigs got progressively worse. I don't want to badmouth Rhino. Great work, solid pay, respectful people.
If you're out of the workforce,
Damn, it's hard work.
I'm sure they'll hire you.
Oh,
So,
you get hired right away.
Yeah, you
No
get
drugs. No drugs.
Take
Anywhere.
those drugs over to
Chandler.
elephant. You know, some different animal. Dude, yeah, I don't know. I can't think. My recent experience was so heartbreaking. I can't think back to a different time
like a good story.
of working it. Yeah, I don't know.
What else? You were hustling a couple things to try and make some more money. You were trying to do some studio stuff and then some lift stuff too, right?
Yeah, I did some Lyft. I hated it. I absolutely hated having strangers in my back seat where like I couldn't keep my eye on them. It was like just even if it was like a small petite woman, it was just I just didn't feel very easy. So I didn't like doing that. And then I tried to open up my music engineering and mixing business, but it's hard to find clients that. What's the best way to put this? That I enjoy mixing and working with, and so that kind of is on the back burner. But I'm still open. cleverpigmixing@gmail.com.
Big time.
But right now I'm working finance at BNC National Bank, just doing some clerical stuff while we're home, just to make ends meet. But it's a great opportunity. I couldn't be more grateful for it. So
Nice.
Yeah.
So we go back to touring for just a moment. I guess there's probably lots of stories. I actually went on tour with you guys like 1.5 times.
It was legendary.
Yeah.
I don't know, just thinking back some of those stories. What are some of the, let's say, almost breaking points? You know, remember we had to jump on the Amtrak
Yeah.
to go to San Diego?
That was good times.
That was classic, man.
Let's give them a little description of that story.
So back then we were touring in my dad's 2004 Yukon, and we had a U-Haul trailer on the back, and we were living those days. So we were just driving that thing around, and all of a sudden,
We just gotten Denny's, right?
Yeah.
Or some kind of delicious
well, we were
breakfast.
driving. It was some kind of great diner that we had eaten at, and when we were getting there, I would press the gas down. It wasn't really like taking. I'm like, whatever, blah blah, whatever. So then I park it, and we come back out, and then I try to shift it, and nothing. I couldn't get any. It wouldn't grip anywhere. So it turns out we blew the transmission, and
Yeah.
$4,000 repair, and it wouldn't be ready for 3 days. And we had another show in San Diego that night. So, and then we were in Irvine, California at this point. So we booked it over to the train station. I think we took a cab. We grabbed our guitars. We called the promoter. He got us a back line. We took the Amtrak down to Ocean Beach, and we fucking made the show, played it, rocked it out, and it was amazing.
Oh, dude. And then you want to fill in what happened? As if the story wasn't already tragic enough. We lost our band and our shit. What happened to you at the train station when we were waiting on the way back?
Oh, terrible.
Oh,
Terrible.
yeah. Well, I had a relationship of some years, and it ended
Some or 7? Please clarify.
some years.
Thank you.
And by some, I mean 7. Same thing. Nah, it was like, 2 to 3. Yeah. It was
Pushing
more
through
fun.
the resistance.
Pushing
Yeah,
through,
that
man.
was some
That
heavy
was-
resistance
that
in
was-
one day. But you know what? It's okay.
It's funny because I think another breaking point, you were also there. It was on the half tour that you referenced when we were in Oregon. You had, I think, flown in, or you were in Oregon.
Eugene.
Yeah. And me and Connor
Yeah.
were deathly ill, and we thought we had Lyme disease because we found a tick on Luna, and we thought that, and then we had gotten extremely sick, and we're like, oh no, I think we have Lyme disease. So me and Connor are sitting in the same bed, like dying, and Esteban, Robbie, and PJ are just like kind of chilling, blazing up, having a great time. That was a breaking point for me, man. I hated that. That was like
the
being
one
sick
time-
on the road is one of the worst possible things.
That was like the only time in my life I've ever lost my voice. Like I could not make like sound.
Yeah.
I think I could talk, but I couldn't sing at all.
Do you guys have more of a regimen these days? You just still stop at McDonald's every day, or
We do a way better job for sure.
We do a way better job. We're
Yeah.
Chipotle born and bred these days.
Walmart
Stepped
rotisserie
up.
chicken, avocado, black beans.
Yeah,
All
baby.
right.
Yeah.
Because you just fucking. I remember one time, another breaking point. There are a lot of breaking points. We were with Joey, our other friend Joey. I'm sure podcast listeners will meet Joey, but we had just partied as hard as we could in Charleston, South Carolina. Drank about a handle of whiskey between like 6 of us.
This was July 4th,
July 4th.
2013.
It was aggressive. Woke up the next morning. We were just, all your happy juices are gone. Then you go to eat food to hopefully give you some more energy and juice. And we ate like some McDonald's. And I remember all of us just sitting in the van like, oh my God, dude, this is fucking horrible. Just like nowhere to go, no one's house. Because it's one of the interesting things that you learn quickly is when you have a day off in a town you don't know anyone in. How quick, like, you know what I'm saying? You're like,
Yeah.
what do you do?
Yeah.
You're like, you can't
Yeah.
go and chill anywhere. Most places cost money to go chill somewhere. You know what I'm saying? You want to go to a bowling alley or something like that. So finding stuff to do it's crazy, man.
That was in South Carolina?
Yeah, that
Well,
motel.
yeah. Another funny thing about South Carolina is McDonald's there, they don't have spicy McChickens. They only have McChickens.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
we asked for a spicy McChicken, and the lady like flew off the handle like we were from outer space. What's spicy McChicken? Like we only have McChicken. That was a breaking point for me.
Yeah.
Everyone's breaking point comes at various moments. The road is a serious test of your mental wits. One time we almost killed each other over some contact solution. It was pretty funny. That was heavy into a tour. That was like,
We almost killed each other once in the Grand Tetons.
yep.
Oh,
yep,
that was heavy.
Yep, that was good times.
I was
Yeah,
on the sidelines.
I mean, it's definitely like if it's not going to work out, the road will make sure it doesn't work out. So you kind of got to go through it and battle and like be mature men about it. And we've all been men about it,
And
you know?
and my best advice is that if you're not in the argument, stay out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
You always think of the witty thing.
You're like, you savor those
man, I'm
moments.
so happy I'm not in this argument right now.
Yeah, the regiment's an interesting thing because it's like, it's not like one day you wake up and it's like, oh, now I'm a good person, you know? Like, it just fucking, like, you have it one tour, and then the next tour you just let it slip and you just turn into a piece of shit. You're just, like, not exercising. This last tour, I did just a terrible job. And I've done better in the past, so it's like a constant, you have to keep trying to do it. It's not like I did it once, so, like, this is how I live now.
We were saying
I was
yesterday.
upset.
Sorry.
I was upset about how I behaved on the last tour, not in terms of like anything other
Outlandish.
than not
Right.
outlandish, just
Personal.
like not taking care of myself that well. But
Yeah, it's tough. No, I was just saying we were talking about how to maintain it on tour because you know you can come home at home and maintain like a yoga, healthy eating, like relatively like healthy mental habits, and on the road you're just thrown to the fucking wolves.
Yeah.
So how do you get that discipline? And I think, at least what I think it is that you got to just do it for long enough before you go on the road, or you know even if you travel for work or whatever, that you can go on the road and then it's just a program. For me, I'm just like, all right, well, I don't know. It's tough. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. It's
Yeah.
definitely
Healthy
tough.
habits.
I don't know
The
if
Planet Fitness thing was nice.
If
yeah.
you've ever heard that Atmosphere song, and then this is why it's my favorite song, trying to find a balance is the perfect way to describe it. You're always trying to find some kind of balance out there, you know, between what's going on in this random environment that you're in, what's going on with the band, and what's going on just in your head.
Yeah,
You're
that's a
always
good
trying
way
to
to
find a
describe it.
balance between those three things, and it's trying to find a balance. I'm trying to build a balance. It's the best
Dude.
way to describe it, you know?
Describe the fucking random environment of that Walmart we stayed in, like, on this last tour.
Oh my gosh! So we were in Roseburg, Oregon. We had just played a show in. We had left Humboldt that day, and we were making our way up to Vancouver, Washington. And we pulled over in Roseburg to crash at a Walmart, and it was great. You know, it was an empty parking lot. So I find an empty space, pull in, park. We all get set up. We get ready for bed. All of a sudden, this car like drives in, parks next to us. Normal, you know, we're at Walmart. We would expect that. And then all of a sudden, they get out, and it's just a bunch of crackheads. Or just two crackheads, man and wife. That's a bunch, right? And
here comes the crackheads. It is.
so they just started like kind of fighting, playful fighting, and then they went into the store, so everything was fine. And I at least had fallen asleep. They probably fall asleep too. And about 30 minutes later, they come back out, and then this like domestic dispute is really cranking up. And the woman's like telling the guy to get out of her car and go home, or she's gonna call him a cab. And the woman's like trying to get the guy to leave and tries to call him a cab, and the guy won't get out of her car. And then the guy calls the police, I guess, on himself, which doesn't make any sense. I'm like, why is this guy calling the police?
Yeah, so we wake up to just 5 cops, and this one dude's like, "Well, my wife and Paula," and he's like just fucked up on some kind of shit, you know. And the cops are like, "Dude, what are you saying?" He's like, "I'm just trying to find my." It was nonsense, dude. And like he said, a random environment. You're like, where the fuck are we? I thought the guy was gonna come like bang on our van out of like a fit of rage or something, and the cops were like shining their lights in our van, kind of, and we're just like, "Oh my god, man, I'm just trying to sleep in here, bro." It was fucking.
Slept through the whole thing.
It was so.
The funniest part about that whole story, though, is I think at one point the cop asked the guy, he's like, "Do you use?" And the guy said, "I used to." and then the cop asked him, "When was the last time you used?" He's like, "Oh, like a couple hours ago."
That's a great way to look at life. You know, it's like, nah, that's the old me, bro.
But needless to say, the cops called the guy a cab, called the lady a cab, and the car stayed there, and they left.
So are you guys just camping out in the van the whole time this was happening?
Yeah,
just like
dude.
8 feet away.
And we
a
had
parking
ju-
spot worth away.
We
Literally
had
right there.
just laid down to go to sleep. Ridiculous.
Oh, good times. All kinds of good times.
Can I pause the proceedings? May I get another beer, PJ? It's tough to
Yep.
find a good spot to say that, you know? I can't even tell you.
This is a great spot to say it.
Perfect spot. Yeah, I don't want to be rude and, like, kill the flow, you know? Because I thought that was some good flow.
was some good flow.
fresh
That's the
taste.
last beer too, so
What? It's all right. We can pass it around if someone feeling thirsty, you know?
I'm always thirsty, bro.
You deserve it, man. You've been working hard today.
Thanks. You too, man.
Thanks.
all right, so we've done some solid touring, or you guys have done solid touring at least. What's like a middle of the pack song that you guys think is probably one of your better songs over the years since you've progressed into from the college Tucson band to now some grown men.
In terms of like one that we weren't that stoked on, but as we've kind of grown and gotten better and played it,
Like, what was
it's
one of,
better.
one of our better songs?
One of our better
In
songs.
the middle of our kind of current length of career.
Yeah, I think off of our record, Weapons of Mass Seduction, there's a track called What's Good Enough.
That's what I was gonna say.
And that's a real good track. I think that has kind of been starting to actually gain some more traction recently.
Yeah.
Now, so more than when we first released it, so which is cool. So I think that's a good one to show the people, kind of back where we were a couple years ago.
When is that? What year is that?
Shoot, man, I think that's 2015.
Yeah, 2015.
2015 or 2016 potentially.
Yeah, I think it was 2015.
Okay.
If I'm not
2015.
mistaken.
2015.
I might be, though.
So getting towards the end of the U of A days?
Yeah, I think I had already graduated by the time we released that record.
I remember that because that was Nick. We were having, like, Nick was laying down some of the guitar lines for that. You know, it was, like, towards the end of his life.
His tenure in SLS.
God bless him. We remember him
He's
fondly.
still alive. He's working at Apple. He's doing great. Just
Oh,
talking to
he's
him.
killing it, man.
And not the company Apple. He's working in the Apple fields.
Yes.
In
Yeah.
Peru-
He's
in
actually
Peru.
broke as fuck. He needs our help really bad.
Yeah. But you know, he loves what he does, so
He doesn't work a day in his life.
Should we play the song?
Yeah, this
Abel?
one's for
Yeah.
Nick. This one's for
Oh.
Nick.
Let's hear it.
Damn. So that was a pretty sneaky little segue you did right there, huh? Just like he kind of just set up the tee on the tee, the ball on the tee. Oh, look at you, man! Thanks.
Yeah.
Which one are y'all playing?
What's good enough?
Okay, yeah. Let the record show Bob Rabbit loves this song because it's in B flat / B minor.
I like this song because I can play it with one hand.
It's the dream. Every bassist dream. What's good enough for them is not enough for me. But in the end, what I see was I a king of the fleet. When I rock this riff, can't help but feel it so blessed. And I know why he own is feeling something to die for. Die for, die for. When I roll through these verses and I rock through these chorus bars, ooh, I'ma rock it till the wheels fall off. Ooh, why does he do it? Ooh, why does he choose it? When I write these words down, make something sweet to surround. Running from everything I never loved. Well, on this road, money comes, but mostly goes on. Running towards the only thing I know I love. As the night wears on, I'm holding on to the thread of a dream. How much happier could I be?
Yeah. All right. What was the name of that one again?
That one's called What's Good Enough, circa 2015.
Nice.
I wish that was part of the name, circa 2015.
Yeah,
What's good
sick.
enough, circa 2015? You could write that song every year.
I refuse to ever play music again without this mix in my headphones. I feel like I want to walk around with my life like this. How the fuck have we been playing music?
I'm going to Guitar Center after I leave here, and I'm buying that.
So we can do it?
I don't know if I'm actually going to do it, but I'm
How
saying
much
that
is
for the
it? I'll send you
podcast.
some money, though.
It's $1,000.
Okay, well, let me know how much it is. For real.
We're leveling up out here.
For real, though, dude, this is where it's at. If my life could sound this good, dude, what the fuck? My ears suck.
Who needs
Such a
antidepressants
better
when life
person.
sounds this good, you know?
Be such a better person if life sounded like this.
All right.
That's the cooler of goodies, huh?
So, 2015, y'all wrote this song, What's Good Enough. So that's going to bring us to our next segment about getting in the pocket, getting in the flow. And a great water company I found yesterday, actually, or 2 days ago, is called Flow, alkaline spring water.
No way.
Wow.
So, I got
that
a bunch of
drugs
them.
Wow, those look delicious.
We had some tequila and some beer, so it's time to hydrate, you know?
Yes.
Totally.
Wow.
We got some cucumber mint, strawberry rose, watermelon lime. What are y'all feeling?
I'm feeling that strawberry rose if no one has any objections to it. Thank you.
Take whatever. I don't like cucumbers though, but I.
Oh, there's also plain.
I like
You want
plain.
flavored or plain?
I'll take some plain water.
Plain water.
some of that plain water.
Big plain water.
Some of that water flavored water.
Yeah, just give me that flavor.
I'll take some of that honeysuckle or whatever the other one was.
You could just
Watermelon?
do a podcast and
Yeah.
just love the sound of your own voice and just talk a bunch of bullshit, you know, and just be sitting there.
Oh, that's good, man.
Yeah, it doesn't have like a smoothness about
It's
it.
not like super sweet like a drink.
Can I
you
try
know?
it?
Yeah, there's barely any flavor.
It's not sweet like a drink.
Like a
it's
sports-
not
sports drink is what I
salty
meant.
like a food.
Total fat 0, sodium 0, total carbs 0,
Sugars, that's what
protein
everyone's
0.
wondering. Everyone's wondering, what's the sugar?
There is no
Total pH
they put gas in
8.1.
I guess the lid is made of bamboo, so it's like for the planet.
Tastes great.
Well, folks, it's Bob Rabbit approved, so.
Oh wow.
Naturally alkaline, not that ionized shit.
So when you first pulled that out, I thought you were pulling out coconut water, which I can't really drink very well. I don't like it that much. So it's really refreshing. that
Yeah,
this
me
is
too. I
regular
was
water.
gonna have to pretend like coconut water, just like.
Nope.
Do you guys want to guess?
Just regular water.
I love it. Good
Where-
call,
Plain.
DJ.
Plain water.
You want to guess where it comes from?
I'm going to guess the Rockies.
I'm gonna guess Nicaragua,
Let's talk about
Okay,
countries.
Poland.
Oh, great guess.
Sweden.
Yeah, where's the next country y'all want to play?
Canada, maybe.
No, I want to go to fucking Brazil.
Let's aim
Or I
big.
want to go to fucking somewhere in Europe.
Australia, mate.
Yes, let's go there. Let's go to
Well,
Australia.
I was saying Canada
Alright.
is where this comes
We'll,
from.
we'll
but
be there and give us 3 years. We'll be there.
We'll do some ads in Australia.
But let's save
how
this
you guys
footage
do.
for 3 years
Yeah.
down the road now, and I'll be in Australia and be like, "Fuck you guys, I was right." I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do that. That's fucked
I'll
up.
be hopping around in the pouch of a damn kangaroo. Well, what are you guys doing with your life?
Nah, I'm just kidding. We'll probably be in McDonald's in 3 years. Oh.
Oh.
I have another one. Let me start this next part. So the flow, y'all wrote that song. So just break us or walk us through a little bit of how your writing process has changed over the years. Like, do you guys set up blocks of time to really get in the pocket, or do these things just come?
a little bit of both, you know. I think establishing. I think the most important thing and how it's changed is establishing good habits for, because you're not going to force the inspiration to come, you know. But it's good to have a time that you sit down and you're ready to have it if it comes to you. So I think mostly just trying to establish a time to do it. I don't have any like specific schedule, but just to do it consistently in general. So it's not a time, or it's usually at night though, I'll tell you that. But
Is this at home, or is it at the studio, or wherever you're at?
at home is usually where I do like,
You always come off the road with quite a bit of inspiration and
yeah,
songs, though.
the road.
Our
the
whole last
road as
EP was
well.
written on the road.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so forget everything I just said. I'm just kidding. It was all true. But
Well, one thing that I can tell, like from the past, that has kind of changed as we've progressed, is that he used to come to Connor. Used to come to us with like maybe a half of a verse, and then we would just kind of write the rest of the music. Then we'd be sitting on just trying to write the melodies for a long time. Whereas now, more so, he's coming to us with full songs, full melodies. That maybe, you know, if there's something that we don't like, we can kind of tweak rather than having to create a whole part. So I think we've progressed in that way for sure.
All right, so basically, Connor comes up with his part, and then y'all build around it.
So yeah, he'd come to us with like, for example, a song acoustically. Esteban would build his drum beat. I would build my bass. I would write my harmonies, and then Connor would go back through, write some licks and lead parts and stuff like that, and then we all kind of collaborate on how everything sounds, and we'll make sure that we're all happy with all the parts, which is pretty cool. You know, it's not just everyone writing their own part, and there's got to be a little bit of push and pull. Sometimes that's hard when you write a part that you think is dope, but it ultimately, after the song is written, you don't even remember that conversation, you know. So
Yeah.
takes a lot of push and pull, definitely. So you got to be pretty good friends with the guys you're in the band with.
Absolutely, it's tough.
How quick is the process of ether to stage? From the ether to performing?
It's quite a while.
Well, it depends.
Yeah, I mean,
These last songs, 3 months.
yeah, definitely. It's definitely. I think as we've gotten better, it takes less time, but we're also there's more attention to detail too. So, I mean, we wrote it. How long did it take us to write the set for Ugly Sweater Show? Like a week.
Yeah, about a week. And by write the set, we just mean transitions and make
Yeah.
sure everything flows song to song, so we're not just sitting there like, oh yeah, let's get wasted.
Yeah.
I guess that's another thing. How has your guys' idea of the show changed?
Drastically.
Yeah, dude. If you go watch fucking Revolution play, or just even more simple, you go watch a DJ play. Why do people like DJ so much? Because music doesn't stop, you know? Some of these great bands, they just don't stop playing. They're just constantly jamming. That's why people love jam bands. So we kind of have taken that kind of more, let's create a musical experience instead of like kind of
Just showing up and playing our songs, you know.
stop, start. And you stand there and the guy on the mic is just like, so how you guys doing? It's just his voice. It's just like haunts me, you know.
And
I
we
hate those
used
moments.
to be like that. And we
Yeah.
used to be like that, so that's why, you know.
It's good to have that approach. It's a lot harder though too, you know.
Totally.
To connect everything. Revolution is one of the best to do it. I've seen. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of great bands, but they do it fucking awesome. Just like
It's
wow.
the brain space for me more than anything, just having to always think. There's never like a break where I can say, okay, I'm going to this next part. It's like I have to think while I'm playing another part. What's the next part? Don't mess it up, man. Everyone's going to hate you.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're always on the clock, kind of. Like, you have to be on point, really. You can't, like...
You can't be thinking about anything else. The second you start thinking about anything except the part you're playing, you're going to mess up.
You fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get in that flow. And I find myself like, because I think it was on the Joe Rogan podcast. They talk about the flow. Yeah. It's between the bored and between bored and challenging. You know what I'm saying? And I find myself sometimes on some of the old songs, I'm so like it's so autonomous the movements that I'm like playing the songs. I can just be thinking about like, oh, yeah, I wonder what we're gonna have for after the show. You know, like, and then you fuck up a fill or something. You know, but it's always having, like he said, that attention to detail, and finding yourself. I think as a drummer it's different because as a guitarist you can only play a G chord differently, but I can kind of accent different things and make it interesting every time I play this part differently, so I don't get bored. And I find that if I don't do that, I'm sure he notices it all the time that I change things up quite a bit. But if I'm not doing that, then you're not in the flow. You know, you're kind of like you're bored,
Going through the motions.
yeah,
kinda.
or you're thinking about it too much. If you're like, oh my god, this next part, you've already messed it up. You know, by the time you get to that part, you're fucked.
I can attest to that for sure. It's like, don't mess this part up. Damn it.
Yeah, it's good shit. It's good shit. Always learning, you know? Always learning.
Oh, shit. Spilling my Waterloo over here.
Waterloo. My voice sounds pretty good, dude. I think I should sing.
I would learn the low. Just start trying to sing the low octave.
We should learn. Let's learn how to sing harmonies.
Yeah,
on this
teach us a
podcast.
little bit about harmonies. You said that was something that you didn't know in the beginning.
Yeah. Just pretty much getting on the keyboard, learning your theory is the most important thing. to being able to hear and write harmonies. Because if you don't know your theory, you're just kind of like guessing. You're like, oh, that sounds pretty good. That's probably a harmony. But yeah, just if you go through the scale and you know your scales and you can find the harmonies, that's how I've been doing it kind of recently, finding the melody and finding the harmony via the piano. But yeah, that's helped me significantly, just even to be able to hear harmonies now better. Like when I'm not in front of a piano or anything like that, I just have a better ear for it just by learning my scales. It's
The
crazy.
harmony sounded great in this environment. Can you imagine how much better you guys would get if you could do this all
Oh
the time?
my God, imagine how much I would hate myself less.
Dude, I mean, how much does it cost? I think we could do some kind
I
of...
just told you, $1,000.
But is there anything cheaper? Is there anything cheaper? Could we do some kind of a situation where the band funds it and we can fund the majority of it? Maybe you can throw like $1.
Or you get what you pay for.
I'll throw like $1.50.
I'm just kidding.
Who makes this gear? What gear are you looking for?
Looking for that.
Something so that we can practice with these headphones on every single day.
All right, well, Claret, we need a free 4 pre-sent over
Yeah, we have.
for something like seduction.
Please, please, Corbett.
We make the best videos on the fucking internet.
And we'll tag you.
And
We'll tag you.
Yeah.
Behringer, if you want in on this, you're in.
But sure, I don't know. Maybe.
I say nah.
I say sure. I say sure.
I say sure.
There's
Say
that.
nah.
How do you feel about the word sure? We were listening to this Bill Burr podcast, and he was talking about how it's kind of like a passive aggressive, like, "Hey PJ, do you mind doing this for me if I sure?" You know, or sure. You know, like it's like
Sure. Sure.
sure. You know,
It all comes through the
the tone.
Yeah,
the
I guess.
inflection of
It's
the
like
voice.
they're not quite sure, you know. Sometimes. No?
exactly.
That's like some Seinfeld shit right there. You know, sure. It's like, so you don't want to do it?
Like, what do you mean? Sure.
You fucking want to go?
It's tough out there, man.
That-
English.
That could be our next skit, I think.
What? What's your next skit?
Oh, I have the next skit actually.
You do.
Yeah, I thought about it last night
Okay,
at Walmart.
let's hear it.
So me and Casey, my buddy Casey, we were getting some beers for a little party we were going to, and I picked up a 24-pack of these Bud Lights, and
Nice.
you know, they're not heavy, but we had some other aisles to go through, so I was kind of carrying them through the store for a while, and it just kind of reminded me like being 30 days into tour. And like on day 1, I have like no problem carrying my bass amp by myself. But like day 30, I'm like asking someone for help because like it's 30 days in. So I was thinking a funny skit would be we go like 30 days into tour, we go to a Walmart and we're like getting beer and like we're like kind of saying like who should grab it, and then we just kind of look at each other like trying to double this, and then we're kind of walking through the store with a 24-pack of beer,
Start
like and it's
doubling
doubled.
everything.
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
pretty good, man.
I like it.
Illustrate
Yeah.
the passing of time.
Yeah.
The passing of time.
All right, well, we've been doing a pretty solid amount of time, so I think we're kind of getting towards the end.
Cool.
Yeah.
This last section is called Fresh Taste, represents the podcast in itself.
Nice. Fresh taste.
Yeah, so we got some local herb delivered to us.
Oh wow.
I wanted you guys to check it out. Some Grow Sciences
Mm.
wedding cake. Maybe we can get a close up before something happens, but check it out.
Yeah, let's
Whoever
get
wants to go
freaking
first.
stoned, man.
Let's get.
Has it been like 20
Blaze.
minutes?
Okay, I'll just do a little description. It's very frosty. There's some red hairs in it. Smells like a baby's asshole, and that's a very good compliment. That's like my favorite smell of any kind of weed. Really good. I'm gonna pass it on for some more analysis.
Connor, do you want to smell it?
I'll give it a smell. What
Only
do
if
we
you
have?
smoke it. Only if you smoke it can you smell it.
Okay.
Oh my god.
We'll just cut it.
Okay,
Grow
you can smell
Science
it, you can
wedding
smell it.
cake.
It smells.
Well, the first thing I noticed is it was very frosty. Second thing, it smells like a baby's asshole, as Tyler said. Just very light, very sexy, very nice.
It's a perfect thing to smoke
Do I have
like
to critique this, bud? I don't
for a
want
great event, like perhaps a wedding.
I mean, it smells
Wedding,
like
that's a
it's
wedding.
nice
That's
and
some
high.
wedding,
okay.
bud.
Let's
Get in
restart.
there.
You have the. Do you want to roll it? Yeah, you do the honors.
Okay.
Cool.
Oh, there's the timer for the camera.
Cool.
Son of a gun.
Everyone assume your position. Don't you move.
I feel like we could bullshit this for hours, you know?
Oh, dude, we definitely could. You remember when we used to do Ethan's podcast? We would do it for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
You could
All
definitely
right.
go forever.
So maybe just tell us a little bit about the upcoming future. What do you guys got in store for maybe the next 6 to 12 months? Tell us
All right,
a little
yeah.
bit about where we can find you guys. And
So we got a lot coming up. We're just getting started, baby. We got a full-length album. It's looking like we got 10 songs, 9 or 10 songs that we're going to do. We actually found out that Tyler is a master producer. He came through and produced Tantric Nights, our last EP, which just came out. You can check that out at www.slseduction.com. That's out now. We have 10 more songs coming out, probably, realistically, towards the end of the year.
Around Christmas time.
Probably around Christmas.
10-ish. Plus
But
or minus
the songs
5.
are going to drop before that, so we'll have different
All-
things coming out.
all new stuff?
All new, everything new. Music videos, new songs. And then we have a national tour that we're going to announce right now. I just announced it
Oh.
on accident. But we're going on tour in September to October around the country. First leg. Second leg will be a smaller week or two through the West Coast. So we're going to hit the whole country. And then we're going to be fucking super famous and make a shitload of money by 2020. So it's going to be nice.
Have you ever
Nice.
seen that movie, A Star is Born?
Yeah.
No, but I heard Lady Gaga give a talk or her little canned speech like 30 times or whatever.
I haven't seen it either. But
Y'all
I
see
didn't
that?
see it, no.
The canned
Good?
speech?
Was it good?
no, I didn't see it.
Or did she lose it?
No, it's just like it's her and Bradley Cooper sitting on every TV show, and she's like,
Same speech.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. Just like
the
completely
first two,
scripted.
everyone's like, oh, so touching, and then like by the 10th one, everyone's like, all right.
I heard that she sometimes, like, well, more than often than not, she will not go on stage until she believes that she's in the right mental state. I just overheard a conversation at Zips last night. Someone saying they waited 3 hours for Lady Gaga to came on.
Wow.
Because she claims that she isn't in the right mental state. She won't go on stage.
It's like, listen, I need a suit of meat here, or I'm not going on stage.
I can feel that, you know, if you're... Can you imagine the type of feeling that you get delivering that to, like, 50,000 people singing your song? I bet it's like doing 1,000 shots of heroin, just like... you know what I'm saying?
I can attest to that.
That would be fucking wild, dude.
well,
so
I'm
I'm
not
sure
sure
she
about
has to
playing
get
a
like,
sold-out
oh my
show.
God. Dude, I don't even know what the fuck that's like. Gotta be like, dude.
Unreal.
Probably some crazy shit. Hope I get to experience it one day. I was thinking about it today. You know, just thinking
Lady
about
Gaga or 1,000 shots of heroin?
things. Both of those things, actually. No,
Metaphorically.
I'd love to play fucking just like an absolutely ridiculous show where the people are all singing the word. I mean, every artist does, but you know, there's certain things that you hope you get to experience in your life, and I hope that
That's the dream.
one of the
That's
things.
the dream,
Of
you
course. You know, fucking that would be so cool. We've seen that on small scales, you
Yeah,
know.
totally.
But, dude, I remember RX Bandits.
One shot of heroin.
RX. We were at this RX Bandits show in probably 2012. Great year. 9/11 was that year. Sorry. But RX Bandits at Club Congress, dude. Fucking the crowd was singing louder than the band in this. It was this little club, and it was fucking loud. But the crowd was overtaking these people. It was the coolest thing I've ever seen.
For them, not us.
Yeah, I'd love to experience something like that. Yeah, I felt like I was a part of it. Sorry.
Was that the show you guys played at also, or just as fans?
I think we were just there as fans.
No, we played that show.
We played
we
that
played-
art.
we played
oh,
that
we
shit.
did
We
play
played
that
that
show.
Yeah.
We offered to smoke weed with Matt Umbre, but he was like, I'll be flat. I was like, nice, respect.
That's what I
Yeah,
say
I was-
now
I
all
was
the
at that
time.
show.
Stole that shit from him.
Yeah, that was a good
I'll be
time.
flat, man.
Yeah, so
Okay.
little inside, but PJ, our friend PJ, hosted the podcast, went to U of A with us too.
Yep. Bear down.
Bear down.
Bear
baby.
down,
Tear
baby.
down.
That's
you
where we
know-
all met.
Yeah, that's where we all met.
Oh, and that's
But we
the
don't
genesis.
hate on ASU, you know,
I
our
said
listeners because we're better than that.
I set up
Better
the
than them or
goddamn
that?
graduation
That and
today,
them.
baby.
Yeah. Putting it on for the team.
I'm trying to facilitate.
All sides of the fence.
It should be a
Yeah,
truce,
yeah.
honestly. You know, it's like kind of like a Game of Thrones. Like we got to band together to fight the undead.
I feel
Yeah.
like it's already happened, kind of.
A fusing.
Dude,
Don't
I
you
was at
feel-
this party a few months back, and I was just peacefully talking to this kid, and like school came up, and he literally just looked at me and said, "Fuck you."
Are you
I
serious?
was like, dude,
I've never had that experience.
I've never had that experience.
You could tell he was in the thick of it. He's probably like 22,
Yeah.
like wearing his fucking Fork t-shirt, and
Fork 'em.
like, dude,
That's terrible.
I
What
don't
an
know. It just caught me
unfortunate
off guard. I was like, dude, you're fucking whack.
I mean, he's not gonna be on the podcast now,
No.
bro. He blew it.
He,
No.
he blew his
Fucking blew it.
opportunity. Here's what I say.
I was about to throw him off that rooftop.
I say, listen, I've been to a lot of college campuses in my day, and both ASU and U of A probably have the most beautiful women.
Oh my god! I was just
Yeah.
thinking
So
about how much
we're
I
all
missed
winners.
the ass
Like
in
we're
college.
all winners. We are all winners. So it's like you can try to cut me down because we went, 3-12 in football, but we're coming for that Pac-12
We're
Elite
talking
Eight.
about that ass, Tyler. That's what we're talking about.
What about that ass though?
Lots of it at those colleges. Lots of it. Wow, this is getting weird. Wow.
All right.
Oh wow, this is a banger right here. This is a bomber, as we like to call it in the SLS world.
So actually, I'll tell that story.
Go for it.
Something like a
Our,
banger.
our van is actually named the Bomber, and it's a funny story.
Give fuego.
Esteban referenced it a little bit earlier. We played in Bolinas, California, and we got there, and it's this little town just north of San Francisco, 45, maybe an hour north in the boonies. And we got there, we met a couple of guys that I guess lived on the street or in their car. Their name was Lightsaber Rob and Doug.
And Doug kind of talked like this. He's like he's been smoking cigarettes for the past 57 years.
Some people call him Drug Doug.
Drug Doug also is what he goes by. And so we met this guy. And
Mayor of the town.
oh, yeah, he was, no,
He
ambassador.
was the proprietor. Proprietor.
Some kind of
I'm pretty
far-fetched title that he wasn't, for sure.
self-given title.
sure. Yeah.
So, anyways, Doug just starts rolling up these huge, massive marijuana cigarettes with one hand. He's got like his beer in one hand. He's got a bunch of marijuana and a bunch of, or just a paper in one hand. He just like kind of crumbles it up in his hand, rolls it up like a fucking cigarette, like this fat. He's like,
Hey, you guys down to smoke this bomber? You guys want to go outside and smoke this bomber?
so ever since then we've had to call the van the Bomber.
Yeah, it's good times. Real good times. So now we
Shit's
smoke
strong.
bombers. We
Yeah, it is.
We ride in bombers.
I did a puff pass instead of a puff pass because I didn't want to cough on camera. I think people might make fun of me. I have the
Wow.
I have the asthma. Okay, folks.
Came
America.
down with a case of the asthma.
So make sure you get your dog spayed and neutered.
We got our producer
that
Bob
children
Rabbit
could turn
rocking the new
out like
rabbit
him.
camo. As you can see, you can order it off.
Yeah, check
Bob
out the rabbit
Rabbit.
camo.
We
Dot
have
com.
the lovely, the sensual Bob Rabbit. I got a Bob Rabbit tee on right now. It's all I wear, dude.
You see this, Connor? You see what I'm wearing?
Yeah, Bob Rabbit tee on too. What are
Yeah,
you
bro.
wearing, Tyler?
Bob Rabbit tea,
Please, man. Self-proclaimed.
soon to be Bob Rabbit tea.
Yeah.
All right, so we got our fresh taste of the wedding cake grow sciences. This is from the desert, bros. This is
What?
the
Straight
future.
up.
Desert Rose?
No, this is from the desert, bros.
Connor, do you want some inspiration?
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Did you
So,
look at
so,
it?
so this is grown in Arizona,
Yeah,
indoor, obviously.
pretty sure it's like
It tastes like
in Phoenix or in Gilbert or something like that. Yeah, indoor.
tastes incredible. Compliments to the chef. We actually played in Humboldt on 420, and we got a fresh taste of some of that Humboldt bud up there.
Yeah.
Dude, it's a crazy life they live, man. They fucking live in the goddamn boonies and just grow weed on the side of hills.
Have you seen that Murder Mountain show?
No, I haven't.
I've
That's
heard
just
of it.
gnarly.
We were
Really?
scared about going up there. I had to ask the guy that we were staying with, and because it's kind of like
Really?
it's kind of like that thing. Like if you ask a cop if he's a cop, he has to tell you. It's like, you're not taking us to Murder Mountain, are you? And he's like, no. So after that, I was like, all right.
Is that what it's about or what? What's murder?
I don't
Mountain
know about this.
Isn't
about
does that have to do with the
growers killing
cartels?
Basically, there's just like a bunch of gnarly people that grow fat fields of weed, and people will just disappear up there sometimes.
Well, dude, yeah, I mean, and then he was alluding at that. It was like, not alluding at that, but it's crazy because a lot of that stuff that goes on out there isn't exactly legal, but it is. They let it go, and I was kind of bringing to the question. It's like, what do you guys do about protection out here? Like, someone comes out here, you guys got tons and tons of money in weed, and he basically said there's certain places and certain farms that if you went on, like, no one would know that you even died. You know, like
Yeah.
you don't want to try and go rob that place
They
because
got
it would be
100
easy to
acres, yeah.
disappear. It'd be easy to make someone disappear, basically. So I was like, whoa, that's crazy, man. I'm glad that's not my lifestyle. You know, I'm glad I'm sitting here at this table
Yeah.
eating bread and butter.
Super hard to make a 26-year-old Mexican disappear out here.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, but it's cool, man. They're nice. I mean, you know, nice people.
This whole last tour was really great.
Yeah,
I
man.
thought
Yeah,
we
really
took a
great.
real nice step in the right direction as far as getting people out to shows, kind of connecting with our online following a little bit better. Sold
Okay.
sold a lot of merch, which was really good. So every tour has been getting better, in my opinion, as maybe except for one.
You guys are still writing this last. What do you call it? A soft release?
Yeah, we have a soft release right now. We're just kind of trying to drive people to our YouTube channel because we feel like we have a lot of cool content on there, and maybe it kind of gets overlooked with all of our other online presence. So we released our 4-song EP on YouTube, and then we're gonna do a little bit of a more hard release on Spotify a little bit down the road.
Super hard.
Yeah.
Super hard release.
You said there's
Coming
4
soon.
songs on that?
Yeah, there's 3 songs and kind of like a joke fun intro song entitled Celibate by Choice.
Okay.
Great song.
And
What,
It's about being celibate
about
by
being
choice,
celibate.
but it's not your choice.
but it's someone's choice.
So it's like no one's having sex with you.
What's
But
y'all's
you're-
favorite one to
you're
play? Or favorite? I guess there's only 3 of them, so.
Dragon Slade and guitar.
I'd say
played,
that's
man.
my favorite.
That's my
too,
favorite, I
right
think.
now.
I think the one that's been maybe most or best received is Tension and Release, but I think my favorite's Dragon
I
Slaying
kind
Guitar
of feel
Playing
like
Man.
Tantric Night might be
That's a fun one too.
pretty well received.
Totally.
Wrong. Horrible.
No. We actually, it was like funny. Another funny tour story. It's kind of interesting because some of the shows you play, you're not playing like a show, as in like, you know, you pay and you're going to see this band open for this band and play for this band. You're an opener, or you're just in the corner in a bar. So we were playing at a bar, and a lot of times at bars people don't care about the band that's playing. So we were playing at a bar, and we had played 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover by Paul Simon, and we just got the crowd fucking rocking, you know? It was like great energy, and you're just like, oh man, it's awesome. And we like, it's time to play another song. We play one of our own songs, and like everybody left, and you're like, oh man, you know, this is crazy.
But then you just tell yourself that it's not necessarily because they didn't like that song. It's just because they were so pumped up that they knew the song that you were playing before.
Right.
They don't know who you are if they have never heard you. You're just another quote unquote bar band.
Right.
So
Still, nonetheless, interesting experience to have. You know what I'm saying?
humbling for sure.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
our friend Ethan was just like, you know,
Yeah.
and maybe it wasn't about the song at all, but maybe like you were talking about the set, you know, it's just thinking about how do you match that energy that you just brought with a really well-known cover, but with like one of your own songs, you know? And maybe, I mean, we definitely have that song. Maybe it wasn't the right song choice, but yeah, just getting better about you know, making that mistake, not playing the right song, and then come back, hitting them with the right song next time, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking A.
All right.
It's tough.
How do you guys want to close this out?
I
Song,
say
2
we might
songs?
as well play on a little Dragon Slaying Guitar Playing Man.
that.
Close it out.
Fuck yeah.
All right.
Let's slay those
Let's
dragons.
hear it.
Let's slay those dragons. Those gosh darn dragons. Tyler, you mind helping me out over here? I need some help. Will you guys bear with me while I ensure this tunage is... Yeah.
Yeah, I'm nice and stoned now. Let's see how this goes.
I am Stone Cold Steve Austin.
This is part of the show where PJ gets the band super high and sees if they can still play their own songs.
The ultimate
Just kidding,
test.
folks. Yeah. Fresh Listen, this one's called.
might not even come to the door. Shoot me a text, correspondence, 21st century slow. Call all day, but my box ain't set down no. Trip to the grocery, this dragons to sleigh. Produce on sale, but the virgins are to wait. Maybe I'm a romantic, maybe Bonnie and Sid. Just maybe I'm a dragon slaying guitar playing man. Without tragedy, I could not be unflappable. If I'm strong, I owe it to the weakness I love. Down the lands to seek, the world would not be mappable. But up and down the coast we go. Give me the wheel, it's so slow. Trip to the grocery, there's dragons to slay. Produce on sale, but the virgins are to wait. Maybe I'm a romantic, maybe Bonnie and Sid. Just maybe I'm a dragon slaying guitar playing man. Trip to the grocery, there's dragons to slay. Produce on sale, but the virgins are to wait. Maybe I'm a romantic, maybe Bonnie and Sid. Just maybe I'm a dragon slaying guitar playing me.
Seacrest out.
All right. Well, I'd like to thank something like Seduction for joining us for this first take on the Phresh Taste. And we're out.
We'd like to thank PJ for having us on this first take of the Phresh Taste.
Any last comments for the viewers or anything to say?
Yeah, shout out to everyone who made it happen, man. Shout out to everyone who listened and enjoyed it.
Yeah, thanks for everyone for being nice to me after being so late. I was really upset, and you guys were really nice.
Oh yeah, we're nice now. Wait till the camera's done rolling.
All right. Peace out.
Yo, encore, bro.
It would be funny to shut the cameras off and have the audio still rolling right after that. Be like, you piece of shit! Like, the belt. The belt.
Let's just play one more song.
Yeah, can you guys play another song? Yeah, fuck it.
I'm just like, no.
Let's do Tantric Night.